For decades, Studio 67 had been Kelly Ripa's second home, a place of laughter, routine, and familiarity. The soft glow of the red camera light, the hum of equipment, and the faint scent of coffee backstage were comforting constants. But on this morning, everything felt different, heavier, charged with emotion beneath the usual buzz. The band played its cheerful intro, but a hush lingered like the calm before a storm. Kelly's smile remained polished and bright, her posture perfect, but those who knew her well could see something unspoken in her eyes. The audience's applause and excitement contrasted sharply with the tension she sensed in the air. This wasn't just another morning broadcast. It was a moment where personal history, love, and change intersected with public performance. Kelly carried the weight of both her own emotions and those of her team, aware that today's show would be remembered not for scripted humor or interviews, but for the raw honesty and connection that had always defined her presence on air. It was a day that would blur the line between public and profoundly personal. Reflections on beginnings and endings. Kelly began the show with her usual warmth, greeting the audience with a practiced brightness. But as she spoke, her words took on a deeper meaning, reflecting on beginnings and endings. For years, the show had been a constant in her life, a place where she grew, laughed, cried, and shared countless human experiences with viewers. She described the studio as more than a workplace. It was a home filled with memories, a space that had witnessed the messy, beautiful parts of life. Even as she joked about wearing heels while exhausted or over-caffeinated, the audience felt the weight of her nostalgia. Behind the humor was a profound acknowledgement of impermanence and gratitude for the journey. Kelly's reflections reminded viewers that television at its best is about connection, shared experiences, and understanding. It's a medium that can capture joy, grief, growth, and resilience. Today, her words were not just a greeting, they were a heartfelt acknowledgement of time passing, moments lived, and the relationships that had shaped both her life and the show. Honoring the people behind the scenes, Kelly took time to recognize the crew, technicians, producers, and staff who had dedicated themselves to the show over decades. She acknowledged their early mornings, long hours, and unwavering commitment that often went unnoticed by the public. These were the people who celebrated personal milestones alongside her, shared grief, and sustained the magic of live every day. By highlighting their presence, Kelly reminded the audience that television is a collective effort, a collaborative art that depends on countless unseen contributions. Her gratitude extended beyond professionalism. It was deeply personal, honoring the people who had become family through shared experiences. The studio responded with applause and tears, reflecting the emotional resonance of her words. By spotlighting the crew, Kelly emphasized that connection and loyalty form the foundation of enduring success, and that acknowledgement of these relationships is as meaningful as the show itself. It was a subtle yet powerful lesson in respect, appreciation, and recognizing the unseen labor that makes public moments possible. A personal connection with the audience. Kelly's focus then shifted to the viewers, acknowledging the bond she had built with them over decades. She spoke directly into the camera, expressing gratitude for the trust audiences had placed in her. She highlighted how fans had shared life's milestones with her, moments of joy, fear, grief, and hope. These were people who welcomed her into their homes and routines, creating a sense of intimacy that extended beyond the studio walls. Her tears flowed freely as she expressed that this trust was never taken lightly. The audience, both in the studio and at home, felt the authenticity in her voice and gestures. By sharing her appreciation openly, Kelly transformed a typical broadcast into an emotional dialogue, reinforcing that television can be a conduit for human connection. The segment emphasized that behind every program there is a network of relationships between hosts and viewers, creators and audiences, where empathy and shared experience matter as much as entertainment value. The weight of saying goodbye. As Kelly spoke about memories and milestones, she reflected on the difficult act of saying goodbye, whether to moments, people, or chapters in life. Her voice trembled as she acknowledged the personal vulnerability inherent in leaving behind something deeply cherished. Every desk, chair, and cue card in the studio represented years of laughter, lessons, and growth. She recounted times of fear, insecurity, and self-doubt, and how the studio had silently witnessed them all. The audience, emotionally attuned, absorbed the depth of her words. Many moved to tears. Kelly's willingness to confront these feelings publicly created a shared experience of empathy and reflection. It reminded viewers that endings are not just about closure, they are opportunities to honor history, acknowledge emotion, and appreciate the people and moments that shaped the journey. The segment highlighted the courage required to face transitions and embrace change with grace and authenticity. Unscripted emotion on display. Breaking from script and cue cards, Kelly allowed herself to be completely real, speaking from the heart. She reminisced about her early days, her first laughs, mistakes, and emotional moments on air. The montage of personal experiences played softly in the background, while the audience and crew watched, many visibly moved. She highlighted the human moments behind the polished television production, the times when she had been nervous, uncertain, or overwhelmed. By openly sharing these experiences, Kelly conveyed that vulnerability and authenticity are strengths, not weaknesses. The atmosphere of the studio shifted from performance to intimacy, as everyone present recognized the depth of honesty being expressed. The raw display of emotion became a teaching moment, showing that it is possible to be both professional and deeply human, and that sharing emotion can build connection, inspire empathy, and transform ordinary moments into profound experiences. The support of team and fans. After her heartfelt reflections, Kelly acknowledged the support she had received from the crew and the viewers throughout her career. Behind the scenes, staff members formed a semicircle, clapping and offering hugs, demonstrating that their relationship had evolved beyond professionalism into genuine care. Fans appeared through a montage, sharing messages of support, illustrating the profound impact the show had had on their lives. Kelly expressed gratitude for this shared history, emphasizing how meaningful it was to be welcomed into their routines and experiences. The interplay of personal connection, professional support, and public recognition reinforced that television can be a platform for fostering human bonds. It also highlighted that every shared laugh, tear, or memory is part of a collective experience, reminding viewers that art, entertainment, and media gain power when they resonate emotionally and build community. Closing reflections on love and gratitude. In the final moments of the broadcast, Kelly's words centered on love, gratitude, and human connection. She acknowledged the privilege of sharing mornings with her audience and the joy of being part of their lives. Her unguarded smile and flowing tears reflected a deep appreciation for both her professional journey and personal growth. By choosing to speak honestly and vulnerably, she demonstrated that authenticity can create lasting impact. The show concluded not as a mere ending, but as a celebration of relationships, experiences, and the enduring connections that define life. Kelly's reflection reminded viewers that gratitude, acknowledgement, and presence in everyday moments are essential for meaningful human experiences. The segment closed with applause, emotion, and quiet reverence, leaving an indelible impression of a life fully shared with love, care, and sincerity. Legacy beyond the cameras. Even after the cameras stopped rolling, the emotional resonance continued behind the scenes. Crew members, band members, and colleagues expressed their support and shared private moments of reflection. Kelly lingered, absorbing the studio one last time, touching the desk and recalling memories. Her journey on Live was framed not just by public recognition, but by the personal relationships, laughter, challenges, and shared experiences that gave it meaning. This final chapter symbolized the intersection of professionalism, artistry, and humanity. Kelly's story emphasized that legacy is measured not only by public accomplishments, but by the depth of connection, the courage to express emotion, and the care shown to those around you. The closing moments demonstrated that the impact of a life lived authentically, even within the structured confines of television, can extend far beyond the screen, touching hearts, inspiring gratitude, and leaving a lasting impression of love, commitment, and humanity.